Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Friday, October 17th, 2025. Fridays always bring big drama and moments that keep us on the edge of our seats, talking about the show all weekend until Monday returns with new episodes. In Friday's episode, one family attends a joyous event, while Nicole and Ted mourn the state of their marriage. Smitty proposes to Martin, and a wedding is set to bring joy and happiness to all present. Samantha and Tyrell see this as the family regaining its groove and seeing Martin and Smitty back to a happy place after so long wallowing in the aftermath of Martin's secret, which really feels good. On the other hand, Ted and Nicole are facing the end of their relationship. The relationship has deteriorated with no clear path to recovery. Have both given up now for good? Both of them may look to the future and new directions without each other. Across town, there is more drama unfolding. In Friday's episode, Eva and Tomas realize they've been played as Kat plans to make tonight unforgettable. Who is playing Tomas and Eva? Well, the only person who has it in for both of them would be Kat, but let's not put it past Hayley to make use of them to further her endgame. We have all seen the way she switched from being the happy wife of Bill to a plotting, scheming grifter with Randy. Kat, on the other hand, wants the night to be unforgettable, and that could come with a cost to someone. Bring on the Friday drama, and don't forget to head to Soap Central to find out all you need to know about Hayley and Randy's connection and plan to make Bill pay with his life. Strap in, soap fans, as the drama unfolds faster than a speeding bullet, and one of the most explosive storylines on Beyond the Gates reaches fever pitch. Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up because we're diving straight into the drama. It's the day of Bill's birthday, and Hayley's hoping to make this a very special occasion indeed. She presents her hubby with a special cupcake, but he secretly switches it out with another. Naomi takes a bite of the cupcake but spits it out, saying it doesn't taste good. Naomi arrives, and during a quiet moment, nearly confides her pregnancy to Chelsea. But they are interrupted by a toast-making Hayley. Her plan seemingly foiled, Hayley vows, "If at first you don't succeed, try again." Jacob arranges for Naomi to have a spa day, and she snaps at him as if he suggested they have an open marriage. She again makes it clear nothing he says or does can change her mind about becoming a mom. She'd rather make a difference in the lives of many families than start one of their own. Later, she heads to the hospital to talk with and ask a favor of Ashley. Saying she took a home pregnancy test but wants confirmation, Naomi has Ashley run an official test at the hospital. Chelsea scares the crap out of her mom and Pam, announcing that Danny's been robbed. But it turns out Danny made room for Andre's stuff by auctioning off many of her old fashions to benefit the Dupree Heritage Foundation. Once Chelsea leaves, Pamela suggests Andre should be a model for their new agency. Andre, however, has absolutely no desire to do so. Danny marvels that she managed to marry the one man on the planet who doesn't want to be famous. Instead, all he wants is closet space. Having been ghosted by would-be beau Nathan, Samantha turns to Mom June for advice. June bounces between bonding with her daughter and talking to Jacob. He asks who fathered Sam and Tyrell, but she gives a vague non-answer. Meanwhile, Smitty gets Martin out of the house so that he can prepare for a special evening. Martin picks up dinner, then swings by the diner to pick up Samantha. They arrive home to find Smitty dressed to the nines before he gets down on one knee to ask that Martin marry him again. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Thursday, October 16th, hint that Hayley Hamilton will make a mistake, while it seems as if Danny Dupree has been robbed. So let's talk about what fans should expect to see unravel on the new CBS soap. BTG viewers who have sensed Hayley's been up to something no good since her 2 failed pregnancies learned this week that she and her cousin, Randy Parker, have been pulling cons on rich men for years now. Hayley seduces the men, gets them to marry her, and then she empties their bank accounts with Randy's help. Still, Hayley feels very jaded about Bill Hamilton betraying her with Danny, a hit to her ego. So instead of the same old, Hayley wants to aim big with Bill and eliminate him for good. After all, if he passes away, she scores a hefty $10 million, and this could retire her in the lap of luxury, so she no longer has to pull these cons anymore. The two devised a plan to use poison to end Bill's life during the Wednesday, October 15th episode. However, added teasers for the October 16th show imply that a birthday treat Hayley organizes for Bill will end up in the wrong hands. This doesn't sound good, so could someone else wind up a victim in Hayley's dastardly plot? Across town, Chelsea Hamilton will visit her mom and believe that Danny's home has been robbed. Will Hayley, or Randy, ransack the place? Or is this about something else? Danny agreed that Andre Richardson could move in during Wednesday's show, so perhaps Chelsea swings by her mom's home, and after seeing the place, she thinks Danny has been robbed. But it could be more about the state of her mansion with a young man living there. In other news, Beyond the Gates spoilers imply that Martin Richardson will receive a proposition. During the weekly promo, a clip was shown of Bradley "Smitty" Smith surprising him with a marriage renewal proposal on one knee. So it looks like this will unravel during the October 16th episode. Finally, as one marriage is thriving, another will be spiraling. It sounds like Naomi Hawthorne and Jacob Hawthorne will continue to disagree on their pregnancy, as their marriage will hit a crossroad. Naomi feels as if a baby will ruin her career, while Jacob has felt the pull of fatherhood ever since his wife announced that she was expecting. Beyond the Gates spoilers suggest the October 16th episode will have intrigue, romance, and a little chaos, so fans won't want to miss a minute of the drama as storylines progress in Fairmont Crest. On Beyond the Gates, we had our share of wow moments today, as we finally got the whole backstory of how Randy and Hayley know each other. Professional con artists, both of them. Everywhere on social media today, tags like #Marketegoings and #Moraisipcarry were going wild, as none of us expected to hear and see what we did today in EP 151. For a long time, we expected to confirm that Hayley had never been pregnant to prevent her from losing Bill. What we didn't expect to hear was that Hayley had never loved Bill and that he was simply a mark. The whole thing was a scam from beginning to end, researching the family and friends and creating a clever backstory, all the way to faked pregnancies and faked miscarriages. And now, Hayley is plotting to kill Bill, with Randy's help. On the Soap Central message boards, it was apparent that no one saw the magnitude of these plot twists coming. Avid fan 24KZ76 wrote, "One word, and that word today, as I watch, regarding the character of Hayley, is wow. Finally, today it is confirmed. SMH cash register ringing all through young Lady Hales today. She is only with dumb loser Bill for his cash dollars. Randy got her the bucket of blood. Wow. Regarding the baby miscarriage. She was never pregnant, everyone. I've been saying this all along. SMH. Flashbacks too are a trip. She has been using poor Naomi." SMDHOTL Boomer added, "Wow. I would have started a thread with the title, Hayley is playing Bill. I had no idea. She is a true grifter." Ray Heast, "Of course she is a grifter, and I love every second of it. Bill deserves it." Irene951 joined in with, "Haven't watched yet, but I feel they are course-correcting Bill/Hayley. The actors are fine, just not with each other. Always looked awkward together. Having said that, the actress is benefiting by getting better stuff. Bill also fits with Danny, or for that matter, someone else. Maybe new tall attorney who starts at firm. They can't make the same mistake twice, or could they?" Dakota Cat was quick to comment, "In just one episode, the whole Bill and Hayley story took a huge turn. I never saw her as a grifter, just a young woman trying to hold on to her older man, who was once married to a famous model. I'm really invested now." And just like that, in one short episode, the tables have been flipped, and Bill has no idea at all that his end could be in sight. One of the best plot twists so far in Beyond the Gates' short tenure. Here's what went down Wednesday, October 15th, 2025, on Beyond the Gates. When Leslie offered herself sunny side up, Andre needed a change of address card, and Caroline turned marriage counselor. On Beyond the Gates, Kat brought Nicole a preview purse from the Chelsea Cat collection. Nicole was a little confused when the beaming Kat revealed that she was back together with Tomas. Kat conceded that she had been furious with her boyfriend for sleeping with Eva, but that she had moved past it. unlike her revulsion for Eva herself. Nicole wished Kat and Tomas well. Kat wanted to know when her mother was going to have her own reunion with her father. After Kat deemed Tomas's cheating recent, while calling Ted's ancient history, Nicole said that her daughter didn't fully grasp the situation. Kat nearly pleaded for Nicole to take Ted back, but Nicole didn't want to discuss the matter further, stressing that Kat wasn't aware of everything that had happened. Kat was dismayed to learn that Ted had slept with Leslie in the present as well as the past. When Kat theorized that Leslie had just made up getting Ted into bed, Nicole sighed that Ted had confirmed it. Nicole was disconcerted to hear that Kat and Mona had concealed the fact that Kat had caught Leslie in Ted's hotel room once. The psychiatrist was sick of people keeping her in the dark. Mother and daughter discussed how overbearing Leslie had been regarding Ted. Kat decided to give Ted a piece of her mind that moment and made her way to his office. Leslie visited Ted, seductively revealing the waitress outfit she had worn when they'd met and going heavy with the come-ons. Ted wanted Dana gone and told her it was a little early for Halloween. Leslie didn't like Ted cozying up to June. Ted said June was only an acquaintance, prompting Leslie to say that if he had an appetite for waitresses, she was the better choice. When Ted threw up his hands at Leslie's inappropriateness, Leslie charged him with running away yet again, which was his specialty. Ted was firm that he was setting boundaries, but Leslie grabbed him, telling him he wanted her. With Leslie having pulled Ted onto his desk, Kat arrived and witnessed the spectacle. Leslie was delighted and informed Kat that she was giving her daddy the daily special. Ted threw the coquettish Leslie out of his office, after which Kat denounced having walked in on what looked like an OnlyFans roleplay scene. After learning that Nicole had told Kat about his dalliance with Leslie, Ted swore he loved Nicole, but Kat couldn't be sure that Ted understood the magnitude of what he'd done. "I thought you were better than this," Kat lamented. In the nurses' station, Nicole rolled her eyes when Leslie accosted her at the elevators, claiming that Ted had worn her out. Danny met with Andre at Uptown to find out what his decision was about their relationship. He said he wanted to stay married. Danny seemed briefly hesitant. Andre explained that something had clicked for him when he had seen Ashley and Derek happy at the hospital earlier that day. But he wondered if perhaps Danny wanted to be free to go back to Bill. Danny replied that she had a husband and that her ex had married someone else. When Danny was curious what had Andre thinking along those lines, the photographer revealed that Hayley had gone on to him about Danny and Bill spending too much time together. Finding it hilarious that Hayley had angrily crashed her home looking for the wayward Bill, Danny felt that Hayley was projecting her insecurities and that Mrs. Shamilton's marriage was built on quicksand. Andre questioned if Danny's delay in meeting him had to do with Bill. He wasn't happy to learn that Danny had kept him waiting to discuss their future so she could bring Bill a birthday present. Danny hadn't thought that Andre was jealous of Bill. Andre replied that he'd been cool with Danny using him to make Bill jealous after the way Bill had screwed Danny over. But it seemed to Andre that Bill was now getting under Danny's skin. Danny softly allowed that she'd truly been trying to let go of Bill, and added that she indeed wanted her marriage to Andre to work. Andre saw the effort Danny was making, but he wanted her to make room for him in her head and her heart. Danny surprised Andre by asking him to move in with her. They were husband and wife. Plus, she wanted to prove she was serious about putting Bill in the rear view. Andre was willing, though he sensed Danny was flooring the pedal. He also wanted to keep his condo. Danny assented. In his office, Bill stared at the original key to the firm which Danny had gifted him for his birthday. Caroline entered. Despite everyone having gone home, she was preparing for an early morning conference call. Bill acknowledged Caroline's observation that Danny had been by, and the two reminisced about Danny's unique way of doing things. Caroline couldn't imagine that Hayley would be happy about Danny giving her husband such a sentimental present. Bill agreed and asked Caroline for her discretion. Caroline listed Hayley's attributes, causing Bill to joke if Caroline was in love with his wife. Bill listened solemnly as Caroline exhorted Bill to wake up and not let Danny, who always had to make things about herself, come between him and Hayley. Bill had to admit he'd needed to hear Caroline's words. He recalled knowing he wanted Danny from the moment he'd met her, and how tempted he'd been when Naomi had introduced him to Hayley. Caroline was sure Danny rude suggesting Hayley for their receptionist position. Bill had been absolutely certain about walking away from his wife and kids, but now he found himself straddling the line between fighting with Hayley and being jealous of Andre. Caroline insisted that Bill needed to choose whether he wanted to be with his ex-wife or his current one. Hayley stormed into the back room of the Lakeview Casino, finding Randy. She refused to let Bill play her by kissing Danny and told Randy, her kuzo, that it was time to lock in. They were going to take Bill's legs out from under him, since she had never loved Bill in the first place. Hayley reminded Randy that her entire relationship had been a hustle from day one. And she wasn't going to let Danny ruin things when they were this close to taking Bill for everything he had. Randy admired that Hayley hadn't broken character the entire time she'd been with Bill, with the cousins discussing the many identities they'd used over the years. They had managed to bilk a hedge fund manager in Chicago. Hayley bragged that she had only perfected her technique since. She researched her marks, made herself indispensable, got them to the altar, and then vanished after draining their bank accounts. Hayley had begun to think that targeting Bill was a mistake. She was glad to be close to Randy, but she decried Fairmont Crest's denizens as insufferable and regretted not scamming Joey, which had been her original idea. Randy vehemently pointed out how deadly Joey was. Bill had been the better option. Hayley remembered approaching Naomi at the gym and had figured getting to the unhappily married Bill would be easy. It was just now Bill was leaning back towards Danny. They needed to collect before Bill left her, Hayley announced. Randy reminded his cousin that they had the advantage, since they'd been running their cons for years. Hayley groused that Bill wasn't as devoted as the others, but Randy thought back to Bill setting up the ever-increasing college fund for Hayley's baby, and lauded Hayley getting Dr. Macy on board to help her fake being pregnant with one. Hayley remembered that it had been Ashley who had derailed the plan by realizing she had never actually had an ultrasound, and of course, because Danny had kept spreading her theories that Hayley wasn't really with child, Randy had had to help Hayley stage a convincing miscarriage. Hayley flashed back to tasking Randy with getting her blood for the scheme. Randy smirked that working under Joey came with unexpected perks. Randy had hidden the blood in the ladies' room at Uptown, where he'd just happened to see Danny and Pamela. Hayley had decided to provoke Danny into making her lose her baby as payback for shooting up her wedding. Randy wanted Hayley to focus and asked her what was next. "My disappearing act," Hayley grinned. Randy suggested that Hayley use a previous alias, Roberta. But when Hayley wanted to do something special for Bill's birthday, Randy observed that Hayley had played wife longer than usual and seemed to enjoy being Mrs. Hamilton. Hayley cooed that Bill was good in bed, but that was about it. Randy advised Hayley to drain the college fund and take off with the piles of jewelry Bill had given her. Hayley, however, had decided that Bill needed to die. "That's not what we do," Randy protested. Hayley had been toying with the idea since Bill's stroke, when he had taken out a $10 million life insurance policy. She was tired of grifting and wanted to retire on Bill's stroke of luck. Randy offered to use the same gun he had pulled on Kenneth, even though it had jammed. Hayley wanted assurances and proposed they find something they could slip Bill over time to make it look like he died of natural causes. Randy promised to find a suitable poison, eager for his cut. Hayley couldn't wait to leave the country rich and free. Arriving home, Hayley lovingly called out to Bill, muttering, "Where are you, you son of a bitch?" under her breath. Bill emerged and smiled as Hayley pretended to be sorry about their fight, vowing to stop obsessing over Danny. Could Bill forgive her? Bill said he was of a similar mind and declared that he had meant every word of his wedding vows to Hayley. Mrs. Hamilton hugged Mr. Hamilton and asserted that she had meant hers too. "Till death do us part," she quoted knowingly. Meanwhile, Randy put in a rush call for an odorless, tasteless substance. BTG spoilers for Friday, October 17th, 2025, tease that it's the end of the road for Ted and Nicole. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, October 17th, 2025, tease that Ted and Nicole are coming to terms with the end of their marriage. Plus, Eva and Tomas realize they've been played, and Kat plans an unforgettable evening while one family attends a special event. Nicole and Ted mourn the state of their marriage. The exes are sad as reality sets in. Their marriage is done for good. Nicole learned that Ted cheated on her with Leslie, resulting in a child, Eva. As a result, Nicole could no longer trust him. There was no chance for a reconciliation. Ted explained that he was lonely during this difficult time in his life. However, Nicole couldn't move past this betrayal. Her ex-husband still hasn't taken responsibility for his actions, which led to the end of their relationship. Nicole is ready to move on. Meanwhile, Ted is still sucked into Leslie's orbit, and these two could end up becoming a couple. It makes sense because they're both lonely these days. Eva and Tomas realize they've been played. This could lead to problems in their relationship, as if there hasn't been enough already. As BTG fans already know, Tomas is torn between Eva and Kat. Kat is doing whatever it takes to snatch Tomas away from Eva. Speaking of which, Kat plans to make tonight an unforgettable one. However, her recent actions could cause more trouble than it's worth. This could lead to a significant problem in Fairmont Crest that no one will be prepared for. Does Kat plan to move on from Tomas, or is she trying to get revenge on him and Eva? Who knows? Perhaps her plans will achieve both things. One family attends a joyous event. It's about time one of the prestigious families received good news. But who could it be? Does it have something to do with Smitty, who plans to pop the question to Martin? He's been wanting to do this for some time. Meanwhile, Martin is taking on a new opportunity, which could suggest more good news for their family. While something special is happening, Friday's episode won't be without its share of drama. Some of your favorite characters will be tested as they have to make difficult decisions that could affect several friends or family members. Secrets and loyalties will be tested. There will be heartbreak and betrayal. We'll just have to wait and see what happens next. Hayley and Randy are playing the long con game. Beyond the Gates finally delivered the goods on Hayley, and it was pretty glorious. On Wednesday, October 15th, cousins Hayley and Randy discussed their long con. And yes, they're here to steal from the rich to give to, well, themselves. Just as so many of us suspected, Hayley has been conning Bill from the get-go. Hayley engineered her friendship with Naomi. Nothing about her relationship with her husband is real. Hayley is here to steal as much of Bill's money as possible. This is what she and Randy do. They line up a mark, research everything about them, and then Hayley becomes the perfect, fully formed woman to meet their needs. The next step is that Hayley gets together with or marries the mark. Hayley and Randy steal their money, and then she vanishes from their lives. They have been doing it for years. Hayley and Randy even discussed that one mark in Chicago, who was wealthy and owned boats. And after they got through with him, he was done. Now he's driving for DoorDash. Hayley's friendship with Naomi wasn't the only thing that was fake. The pregnancy scare, the pregnancy, and the miscarriage, they were all part of the plan to suck Bill into Hayley's tangled web. After that scare, the powerful attorney started a college fund and then continued to pay into it with the pregnancy that ended with her losing the baby. Hayley said her relationship with Bill has been a hustle since day one. She referred to her husband as an arrogant bastard. She complained about Fairmont Crest residents and called Danny a runway relic. The only perk, other than living the life of luxury, was that Bill was good in bed. However, it's time to move on. Bill is Hayley's final mark, and she is all about evolving their plan so she can retire. Hayley says she hasn't caught feelings for Bill. Instead, she has a new payoff plan. She now wants to unalive Bill so she can collect on that $10 million life insurance policy he took out. So it's up to Randy to get a concoction that's tasteless, odorless, slow, and undetectable. Bill has already had medical issues. He had a stroke, which was for real and not brought on by anything Hayley and Randy did. But it does work for them. Should Bill suddenly keel over, a poison won't be blamed. Randy and Hayley were cold as ice as they recounted their sordid past, as well as how they had to distract Bill at times, because Danny seemed onto Hayley. Hence, Hayley set up Danny to be blamed for her miscarriage. Now the question is whether or not Hayley and Randy will succeed with their plan. Caroline keeps urging Bill to choose Hayley, but there's that undeniable chemistry he has with Danny. At the end of Wednesday's episode, Bill seemed to choose Hayley, which could seal his fate. Meanwhile, Danny asked Andre to move in. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, October 16th, suggests some interesting moments in Fairmont Crest. Naomi Hawthorne and Jacob Hawthorne are at a crossroad, while Hayley Hamilton has a birthday treat for Bill Hamilton. Plus, has Danny Dupree been robbed? Learn more about what's set to go down during Wednesday's show, down below. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, October 16th, suggest that Naomi and Jacob will reach a crossroads in their future. Of course, the two are pregnant, and while Jacob wants to have the baby, Naomi isn't so sure. Naomi feels as if her mom's life was ruined because of her and her sister, Chelsea Hamilton. Danny had an incredible modeling career, but gave it all up to be a wife and mom. Naomi and Jacob make an awesome couple, but will having a baby, or not having a baby, be the very thing that tears them apart? Across town, Hayley's birthday treat for Bill will end up in the wrong hands. This doesn't sound good, as Hayley is bound and determined to see Bill pay for fooling around with Danny behind her back. Bill's birthday treat landing with the wrong person could be a dire situation for an unsuspecting resident of Fairmont Crest. In other news, Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday hint that Chelsea will believe her mother's been robbed. If her place is ransacked, Chelsea will think it's due to robbers, when the culprit is really Hayley or Randy Parker. In some feel-good spoilers, Martin Richardson will receive a proposition, and it sounds like Bradley "Smitty'S" Smith will surprise his husband with a marriage renewal proposal. BTG fans should anticipate the big event to happen sooner rather than later. What storyline are you most looking forward to during Thursday's show? Share your thoughts. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates updates, spoilers, and news. BTG fans are everywhere, as Sean Freeman was reminded on the road. Beyond the Gates star Sean Freeman's family is in the midst of grief. But even in the midst of loss, there are joyful moments. The actor took to Facebook to share that after the homegoing of his stepmother's father, he and his brother had a chance encounter with fans of the soap at an unlikely place, a gas station. Their interactions reminded Freeman of how storytelling can bring people together. When Freeman pulled up to the gas station with his brother Ryan, they were headed on their way out of Alabama. They'd been in the state, visiting Grove Hill, Jackson, and Gosport, for the funeral service of Willie Clarence Denson, the father of Freeman's stepmother, Marquita LaRossi. Their stop was meant to be a quick one, but when Freeman saw BTG playing on the station's TV, he took a minute to linger. He was amused. He shared in his Facebook post that no one recognized him, though he had hoped they would. After asking a station cashier and cook if they were fans, Freeman told them that he plays Andre Richardson on the soap. The cook was in disbelief, asking, "You look just like Andre. Are you really him?" To which he assured him that he was. She and the cashier couldn't believe a Hollywood actor was in their neck of the woods, but once they clicked on to Freeman being who he claimed to be, the moment blossomed into a memorable one. Freeman and his brother stuck around to watch some of the episode with the fans. They laughed and shared stories, and the actor even waited for a friend who'd been called so they could meet him. In his post, he said, "It was a humbling and heartwarming experience, man. Moments like these remind me of the joy and connection that storytelling can bring. Soap operas are beloved, and their longevity means that generations of families share a bond over tuning in daily to find out what will happen next." BTG is the first opportunity in decades for fans of the genre to watch a soap opera from the beginning and connect over a new entry into this storied tradition which dates back to radio shows. But Freeman and his co-stars aren't Hollywood actors in the traditional sense. They're much closer to Southern fans than they may be aware. With production for BTG based in Atlanta, the Hollywood of the South, they're only a state away from fans in Alabama. But no matter where they film, there is one resonating truth. You can find a soap opera fan anywhere, including a gas station. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Thursday, October 14th, 2025, suggest that Naomi and Jacob are at a crossroads with their future. The Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Thursday, October 16th, 2025, reveal that Naomi and Jacob have differing views on their future, which could impact their marriage. Naomi and Jacob are at an impasse over what they see for their future. As previously revealed, Naomi found out that she's pregnant, but becoming a mother wasn't on her radar. Meanwhile, Jacob thinks this is the perfect time for them to settle down and start a family. Unfortunately, the BTG spoilers suggest that this latest conversation doesn't go well, as it leads to an emotional standoff between the two. How will being on different pages impact their marriage? Will these two ever come together and come to terms with their immediate future? Where do they go from here? Bill's birthday might be a happy day for him, but it won't be for Hayley. First, she is already up in arms after witnessing Bill kiss Danny, are cooking up some payback. In the meantime, Hayley's birthday treat for Bill ends up in the wrong hands. This won't improve her mood. It may even cause her to spiral. Chelsea thinks her mother has been robbed. Is she really a crime victim, or is this situation not what it appears to be? Chelsea is still processing her mom's wedding to Andre, and now she has to deal with whatever this is. Danny has already talked to Naomi about the state of her marriage. Maybe it's time to open up to Chelsea. Finally, Martin receives a stunning proposition. It's so out of left field that it shocks him. This offer could change his life forever. What is this offer? And more importantly, will he accept it? Maybe this proposition is really a proposal. In the BTG weekly video preview, Smitty gets down on one knee and pops the question, will love get a second chance? Will Martin say yes all over again? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.